Hi Discovery students, it's Mrs. Phillips here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to play our Unplugged Animal Coding game. So the first thing you need to do is print out the copies. There are two copies. There's one that says follow the code. On my copy it kind of got cut off, but follow the code, and then the other one says code it. Now these aren't the exact ones you have. These are, so your game board's gonna look a little bit different, but the instructions will be the same. So we're gonna start with the one that says follow the code. And for this one, the directions say, use this code to find your next step. Color one box for each arrow. Keep going until the end. Circle the last picture of the code. So what they're saying is they want me to follow this code starting here. It says start here, and each time I see the arrow, I'm going to move one box in whatever direction these arrows say. And to help us keep track, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take some coloring tools. I'm just using some crayons. You can use whatever you want. And we are going to color each arrow. And then when we come over here and we start moving, we're going to color the whole box the same color as the arrow, just to keep track of where we are. So I'm just going to start by coloring each of these a different color, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I have my arrows colored, each a different color, I'm going to start following the code. Remember, start here where it says start here. So from here, I'm going to look at my number one, my first code, and it says to go down one square. So I'm going to take my pink crayon, because that's the same color this is, and I'm going to color in this square because it's one down. Now I'm here, and I'm going to follow the next step. With my yellow crayon, I'm going to move to the right one square. So from here, move to the right one square. And now I'll color that in. And I'm going to keep going until I have finished the whole code. Green arrow says up. Red arrow says to the right. Blue arrow says to the right again. Your coloring can be very neat, or it can be kind of messy like mine, as long as you know where you're going. The orange arrow says down. Brown arrow says down again. And the light blue says down again. The purple arrow says to the left. And the light green says to the left one more time. And since that was my very, very last direction, and my last command, and the directions say circle the last picture of the code, right here, I'm going to go ahead and circle that right here. And I'm done. Now I've just solved my code. Now, I'm going to give you directions for the second type of activity. This is the code it, which is where you are going to create your own code. Instead of following the code that was written like before, we're going to make our own and then draw it out on the game board. So let's look at the directions. It says draw arrows to find a path to, and then that's the cat. So this is where we want to end up, and we start here. It says color the path as you go. You do not need to use all the boxes below for your code. So it gives you lots of boxes. It gives you 15 boxes, and you can use as many or as few of them as you need to get from here to here. And so you want to make sure you're drawing the arrows just like before, one arrow per box. And then you can color them as you go. So I'll show you how I'll do mine. I'm going to do the most simple path I see. So if I start here, I'm going to go down with a brown arrow, and I'm going to color that in. I'm going to go down again with red this time. Color that box in. Take my green, down once more. So now I'm here on the jellyfish, and then I'm going to go to the right. New color, to the right again. New color, to the right again. Okay, and then that was the end. I am going to go ahead and circle it as well. You can also start by circling this so you remember where you're supposed to end up. And so here is my code that gets me from the start to the cat. Remember, because that's what the directions say. It wanted me to find the cat. And I drew my code and I colored my code on my game board. Remember, the pictures on this game board look a little bit different than yours, but the directions are the same. All right, friends, get coding.